Dr. Blake's office. What's that?
Why did they get rid of Craig McLachlan? Well, that's something you should probably Google.
Another one?
Did I put a DJ Khaled record on by mistake?
Oh, yes, I'll tell him. Right away.
Who was that, Jane?
It was City Hospital, Doctor. They have another one of those patients with mysterious burns and bruises.
And a violet pinned to his lapel, I suppose.
You think that would have been burned as well, and yet, no.
Well, that makes the 7th in 7 days. I think somebody's trying to tell me something, and I think I know who that somebody is.
Yeah, because it's all about you, Donald.
What was that?
Oh, nothing, Jane.
Detective Sergeant Murphy's there, too, waiting for you. You'd better hurry, Don.
I'm on my way.
Good thing he parked his car in the waiting room.
Dr. Hanson. Dr. Hanson wanted in surgery.
This is what I imagine every episode of Grey's Anatomy is like. I hear the first season is best, the one where it was just cave paintings.
Dr. Hanson.
Nurse, I'm Dr. Blake. I'm looking for Sergeant Murphy. He said he'd,
Oh, there you are, Dr. Blake. Glad you could make it.
Oh, how are you, Sergeant?
This thing's got us completely mystified.
Is it a wart, a mole, or some kind of allergic reaction? Should I contact all my sexual partners or anyone I shared the donut with?
Stumped up a tree. Gotta be some kind of nut pulling these jobs.
Where's the patient?
Right over there, still unconscious.
We should probably put him in a bed. The nurses keep tripping over him.
Yes, just as I thought. Same type of burn, same bruise marks and back of head.
Yeah, and same setup and M.O. This guy's a salesman at Stiffany's Jewelry. Happened right after closing time.
Do not Google breakfast at Stiffany's. Or if you do, be aware that I was very young and needed the money. Turns out I didn't even get paid. The producer said I'd received lots of exposure. And technically, they did not lie.
Nobody seen leaving or entering. A cool $1 million heist.
Any witnesses?
Were you not paying attention to what he just said?
Yeah, a dozen other employees and 2 of my best men, and nobody sees nothing.
Then how are there witnesses?
Only this guy here dropping to the floor and the tray of jewels he had in his hands, floating off into nowhere.
Just like the other times.
And then the violet pinned to the lapel. I tell you, it's got me climbing walls, and the captain's climbing my back, Doc.
And worse, I'm starting to like it.
Doc, you gotta help me solve this. What about those burns and the bruises? What kind of creep are we dealing with anyway?
Well, there's no question about the burns. They're caused by short-wave ultraviolet rays, like those from the sun that cause sunburn.
Could you possibly sound less confident?
Only more intense.
And the bruises?
The result of a blow by some kind of a blunt instrument.
But nobody came near the guy, Doc.
Nobody you could see.
I suspect a fickle fly.
You mean?
That's right. The criminal was an invisible man.
Come on, Doc, that's impossible.
Yes, impossible for everyone except
Except who?
Ben Murphy.
the ultraviolet man.
The ultraviolet man?
Right. A mad genius who can make himself invisible by means of his micro-transistorized light neutralizer.
You're reading this for the very first time, aren't you?
Light neutralizer? What's that, Doc?
Well, as you know,
Yay!
we see objects only because of the visible light rays reflected by them. Now, the ultraviolet man invented a gadget that transforms all light rays striking any particular object into one type only.
All doctors know this. It's in every medical textbook.
Ultraviolet.
I see what you're getting at.
How?
Since ultraviolet rays are invisible,
Correct.
he aims the light neutralizer at himself, changing all visible rays to ultraviolet, and presto, he's invisible.
And very dangerous because of the high concentration of ultraviolet.
Right again, my good doctor.
We meet again, for some reason.
Very dangerous. Who said that? I, the ultraviolet man, said it. And Dr. Blake, tell your friend, the so-called mighty Thor, I shall look forward to meeting him again and destroying him.
You can laugh all you like, you're no Dragos.
Where is he? Where'd he go? Stop in the name of the law, you!
You just fully comprehended the notion of his invisibility less than a minute ago.
There he is, Sergeant, running down the corridor.
I'll get him this time. Hey, you! Stop! Stop!
Oh, poor Murphy. This is no case for ordinary men.
Or even a subpar one like him.
He can't see him anyway. But I had to send him on a wild goose chase. I couldn't let him see me, the lame physician Don Blake, strike my enchanted cane on the floor like this.
I was a fool to have hoped for some Shazam-type lightning bolt effect.
And become my other and more powerful self, the mighty Thor, the Thunder God.
Am I crazy, or was he about to say Thunder Dog and just stopped himself at the last second?
And now, my egotistical friend, Mr. Ultraviolet Man, the charade is over.
It's time for a game of sardines.
You shall feel the might of the God of Thunder, son of Odin, here on the rooftops of the city.
You knew where I went. You followed me.
You know, stalking is a crime, Thor.
But I am invisible.
Invisible to humans, but not to the mighty Thor, who saw your every movement as you made your way up the fire escape to the roof.
You could have made it a bit sexier, you know.
Yield, mortal, or be crushed.
No! No! Now he's right in range. Aha! I've waited and planned a long time for this moment. Now take the full power of my new secret weapon, the ultraviolet molecular disintegrator.
And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to shoot you. Has that ever been tried before?
No living thing can survive its lethal rays. Not even you refugee from a Viking fairy tale.
Lethal to humans, perhaps, but a mere flea bite to the mighty Thor.
Although I am, unfortunately, deathly allergic to fleas.
You have sought a test of thunderbolts and violets. So be it!
I know that's the title of the record, but you appreciate it doesn't make a damn bit of sense, Thor. It may even mean less than nothing.
Let the hammer of Thor speak!
You destroyed my disintegrator!
And again!
And my light neutralizer!
Did I ever tell you how precious to me the walls around the First National Bank are?
Without the neutralizer, I'm visible and helpless as any ordinary man. No more, I surrender!
And here comes the good Sergeant Murphy with his men.
His men, however, and I cannot stress this enough, are not good. Crooked as hell, in fact. They'd let you go for the tiniest of bribes.
They can handle you now.
What goes on up here? Hey, it's Thor!
Thus ends the career of the proud and arrogant Ultraviolet Man.
And probably everyone involved in the making of this record.
And thus will end any who dare challenge the mighty Thor.
Sorry, what was that name again? I didn't quite catch it. Well, that's the end of this riff. Thanks for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like access to over 100, yes, that's over 100 more riffs, including classic Doctor Who, Jason of Star Command, and the 1944 Captain America serial, subscribe on Patreon.